Just taking a moment to ground. I just get really excited with time crunches, time limits. And I don't even want to call them crunches or limits, but you know what? I think I do, because in those moments I have found space of breath and expansion rather than freaking out and overwhelm. And there's a class that I'm going to be teaching on that. So today though, welcome, beautiful beings. There's nobody on here for now, but whoever watches this, I hope it serves you well. The fact that each and every one of you follow my journey and this particular IG page is for the benefit of for the benefit of humanity and yourself. Blessings. So the reason why I've developed Instagram, I decided 6 years ago. I had Instagram 6 years ago, and I was good at it. Y'all can see I'm good at doing this Instagram thing. It had no value to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And to be honest, there was a lot of things that were a lot of self-worth stuff that was coming in. Blessings. A lot of self-worth stuff that was coming in, and I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. So I left Instagram, and I told myself, should I come back, it would be because I am supporting the evolution of human consciousness. And I know it's deep. So here I am, NUNUSVYBZ. That's what Produxtions is about. This is my business page because me and my business are one. They're not separate, and that's why I'm here. So thank you for showing up for my page and for showing up for yourself. So before we begin, we're just going to hold space for the ancestors and everything that's happened up until this point for you to be here where you are. So if you want to just take a moment, hand to heart, as you breathe in and expand your heart into the earth, into space, and feel what it feels like to ground the base of your feet, or if you're sitting, your butt. Thank you. Okay. Ooh. So we're talking about the Akashics. So Akashic Saturdays, it started last Saturday. A lot of people don't know what Akashics are, and I was like, yo, I'm like the pioneer over here. So y'all need to know what the fuck you're getting into. So a lot of education of knowing what it is I'm doing, and then seeing if the sessions and if I am the best fit for you, because there's a whole lot of modalities, and one of them, Akashic Healing, being one of the modalities that I do. I got some kiwi because, you know, we're going to hydrate with the green juice and the kiwi. Okay. So, we are going to begin with, what Akashic Records are. Last week I talked about why I got into them. Today, every week, every Saturday, we're going to be just talking about Akashic Records in a little snippet. Not too long, not too dreary. And we also have a giveaway. I'm going to be giving a giveaway. I'm so excited. I've never done this. I've never done this. Ah! Okay. So, okay, Akashic Records. Because Akashics is consciousness. So it's like, where do I begin kind of thing. But in order for some structure, I did write some notes. And in order to ground the esoteric consciousness that is happening, that exists, it's right now as we are engaging and as you are engaging in this content. So Akashic Records is generally about the idea that you're tapping into consciousness, but you are consciousness. We are consciousness. And so it's essentially seeing ourselves through this ultimate consciousness that we are, rather than seeing blessings, rather than judging our own selves. Right, so that's what Akashic Healing is removing, analyzing the judgments that we hold to ourselves. It's some deep shit, I know. Okay, so we're going to start with the first thing, blessings, clearing dense energy from the situation. So when someone comes for an Akashic Healing session, what that means is they need clarity. They need clarity in a certain situation. They're stuck, right? that has been the trajectory for my sessions, that how these sessions were being held. Now moving forward, these sessions are going to have 30-minute follow-up calls, because I don't just want to leave you with healing and then finished, you know, and then I see you for the next session. No, I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how you're integrating the homework I'm giving you. I want to know, are you really implementing your soul's purpose in today, in right now? So after we leave the session, whether it be online or in person, I'm going to add a follow-up call with that. So it's going to be a 30-minute follow-up call that's going to be introduced as well. And the prices are changing in January, so definitely inquire about that. Okay, so Akashic Record Healing. So Akashic in Sanskrit, it means consciousness, right? So what we're doing when we're opening your records, sorry, my kettle is going on. I might turn that off in a second. Blessings. Is that we're clearing dense energy from the situation, or certain space that you need to expand your heart into, right? So certain situations that we get stuck in are snippets of what growth we require from ourselves. Now, the situation isn't the problem. The judgment that we hold with the situation is the problem. The situation shows us if it's repeating itself, where we can come in and stop that stagnant cycle, if that's not what you want, right? Because cycles are healthy. You might be in a healthy cycle right now and you don't want it to end, right? We don't want to change that. If that's working for you and it's supporting your growth, then that's great. So we're working on the ones where we want to bring more light by working through the darkness, right? So the reason why I choose Akashic Record Healing as one of my healing modalities, not just the modality, but as a healing modality that I use, is because it's very active. We're engaging the throat chakra and voicing what's happening in here, which we don't really do a lot in the society in regard to vulnerability, right? And so I bring that in the space where it's different from a Reiki session in that way. And I appreciate Reiki. I really appreciate, sometimes you need that done. For me in particular, that I need myself, and I want people to engage within their vulnerability, within their strength, within their emotions. My kettle is coming. I'll be right back. 1 second. Thank you for your patience. My kettle was going off. Okay, so where was I? Yes, actively engaging within your situations, actively engaging within your problems. So I really appreciate hand energy work. I really do appreciate it. But for me, and I realize for other people, because we have a society that these conversations aren't regularly talked about, that it's important for us to voice, you know what, I feel judged in this space, in my own space, or there's a form of self-respect that I'm not reaching for me right now. There's like a barrier that's not allowing me to reach the self-respect that I need for my own self. And that's the kind of important shit that we need to talk about. If we're not talking about that, what are we really doing as a human race? Like, what are we doing as souls, you know? Let me see. I love that Troy says powerful. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. You tuning in. And so that's why I engage within the Akashic Healing modality, because it's a lot of channeling. So what I'm doing is, because I have a strong sense of clairvoyance. So when my eyes are closed and I ask a question to your guides, and I'm opening your book, what we're doing is we're surrounding ourselves with this light energy, this light of Akasha. And every time, light of consciousness, what that means. So every time we open up records, you're allowing your heart space to shine even brighter. You're allowing it to shine even brighter. So with that being said, we're going to go into the next piece. So, look, the next one says to open up your heart more. So that's what Akashic does as well. When we're opening up the records, it's allowing you to channel the situation through your heart space. Are you, where is it that you're feeling stuck? and where can you unpeel the stuckness and look at the situation as it is, not good and not bad, just as it is. Because when you look at it at this, it just is. We are just beings, right? It just is. What is happening is you're not holding a judgment, so you're actually able to see the problem from different situations, which is what we're doing. So every time you open up the Akashic Records sessions, every time you open the Akashic, which we do in my one-on-one private sessions as well. So I have a 6-month and a 12-month program where we consecutively use that healing modality once a month. And the rest of the month is like, okay, how can we implement all of the information that our ancestors have given us and information within our life? Because it takes, how many times? It takes like a certain amount of times for something to integrate in a habit. It takes a certain amount of times for you to unwrite that old paradigm and rewrite a new paradigm that supports you, right? So that's what happens in my one-on-one 6-month and 12-month programs. In my hydration package, you get with $144, including my online classes and my in-person classes if you're in the city. You also get a 30-minute Akashic reading. I think it's going to be via phone. I think that's what I'm feeling. I'm going to try video, but I think my heart's saying via phone. So, but you do get that. So you get a 30-minute Akashic healing session, whether it be video or phone. I might give that option to my client and see what works better for them. A lot of people like face-to-face, but because it's so dense information, a lot of people, feel better when it's on audio. So either one works for me. So I might give that option as well. Okay, so check and check. I love being structured sometimes. I mean, not sometimes. I feel like structure is implemented within the flow. So I love that I have my fucking notes here. I'm diving into the ethers and I have like a base, It's really powerful. So, okay. Next is, so you're shifting perspective through resolution and healing. So what that means, shifting perspective through resolution and healing. So when we open the records, what we're doing is we are shifting. We're shifting energy, right? We're shifting emotion. We're shifting energy that's been filtered into one way and restructuring that filtration so it's being filtered in another way. And we're looking how resolution and healing can come from this, right? Whatever the situation might be. And what that means is, as we're asking questions, as we've opened up this circular space of light energy around us, as we're opening up our hearts, as we're clearing dense energy from a situation, we are allowing the frequency of solutions to show up. We're allowing the ability to solve the situation rather than if feeling continuously stuck. Damn, that sounded really good. I'm really proud of myself. Yo. Okay. Let me just have some smoothie over here. In this smoothie, I have filtered water, spinach, my Vega vegetable supplement. I put flaxseed in it. I put chunks of dried up coconut flesh, and I put ginger. So questions so what kind of questions do I ask? So one of the questions I ask is, did this happen in this lifetime, right? That's a huge question to ask because there's two things. First is it might be an ancestral pattern. I'm going to focus on ancestral patterns next Saturday because that's a whole other ballpark of experiences from the Akasha. Today, asking, did this happen in this lifetime, lets me know if you're stuck in a pattern from your last reincarnation, from your last experience as a being, whatever that be. You might not even have been here on this human planet, right? So how that affects, how that impacts in certain ways, that impacts how you live your life in the moment right now, right? Because there's remembrance, and within our DNA has imprints of our last lives and the lives that we continue to live and will live. So that's, hey, okay, so it paused for some reason. That's so interesting. Okay, and so did it begin this lifetime? So that's one of the questions that I do ask. Did it begin this lifetime? Is that something that they've been struggling with for their soul has been struggling for a while, which is why you reincarnated into a human being, to come and like really feel like the intensity of who you are through this human soul, through this human body with your soul. Okay, and then that's one of the questions I ask. And then another part of that is your soul's essence. So as we're sharing a certain topic that we want light coming into, because it is dark, we ask, how is your essence showing up, right? I hold space to really see your true being, to see you as not the bad person that you think you are, or not the person that they think you are, or not this idea of who you think you are in this shameful, fearful way. My space, my facilitating job is to channel the consciousness that you are, is to show you that you are this like pure being of like eternity. And as the situation is being shown up, and as we clear dense energy from the situation, as we open up the heart energy more, as we shift perspectives from resolution to healing, we show up, we go back to, and we remind us of our roots. Our roots are who we actually are, who we truly are. That's your soul's essence. So as you're sharing stories with me, it's my job to hold space for you, to not judge you. It's my job to hold space for you, which I do really well. A lot of clients have told me that. People in general tell me that I hold space really well. And I'm really honored to hold space really well. It's something that comes very innately to me, and that's one of my purposes of why I'm here on earth. And so through that, as you're sharing the story, I am shining back to you your soul's purpose. And it's going to be through dialogue, and it's also going to be energetic as well, right? And so that's part of the point, is showing you your soul's essence of, and then when you're coming back to your soul's essence and just seeing the situation that is, you're like, oh, this situation is not actually this, or maybe, and now you're being receptive to what this could be and how you can transcribe this. Wow, great stuff. Okay, so how did this problem support your soul's growth? That's like a big question that I ask as well. Parts of it I'll be asking to you, because again, getting you to ignite yourself in your subtle body, subtle body energy, and particularly your throat and your heart as well. So allowing yourself to really communicate through your throat chakra, what you feel your soul's growth is. So whenever you have a situation, the question being, how is this problem supporting your soul's growth? Now, I want to have a caveat to that, because sometimes I feel that people they think that they need to struggle in order to succeed. Yes and no. Yes is that you don't have to forcefully push yourself through pain just because you think, oh, it's going to, support you. But you can allow this situation to show you how you can grow. And that's what the difference is, because sometimes people, because they've innately thought like, oh, this is just the hard way, this is just the struggle way, I just have to struggle because my life is struggle. You're holding, again, a same pattern, and then you're like, where's the growth from that? Where are you holding space for what you really want to live, which is thriving, not surviving, right? So one of the questions that I definitely ask in the Akashic sessions is, how did this problem support your soul's growth, and how is it supporting your soul's growth? Peace beings. And so through that, it's going to show me where you're stuck, where you think you are barricaded from actually living the life you want to live, right? And again, where has this pattern happened again? And if the pattern is happening again, why is it happening again? Why is it the stagnancy of something that you don't want still being present, right? So there's a self-worth piece from there, whether it be from your ancestors carrying a certain knowledge of pain, whether it be from a past life or reincarnation within your DNA, or whether it be a situation that you've taught yourself right now from really young with your parents, or an intimate relationship or friendship, and that's being impacting the way you want to live your life now, and it's not in alignment with what you really want to live. Alrighty, okay, so did that. Light of the Akashic reminds you who you are. Okay, so every time you open up the Akashic consciousness portal, you are coming back to reminding who you are. You are light, okay? You are this epic consciousness coming through. I definitely will check that out. You are light, definitely coming through this physical body, right? And our muscle memory does have certain stories imprinted. So does our DNA, and which can be taken into this lifetime. So every time we open the records, it's us sharing more light into your heart energy. So as we're having the conversation, as we're like dissecting problems and situations, you're gonna find clarity. You're gonna find spaces where you've been judging yourself. You're gonna find spaces where you feel others have been judging you, and you've been hard to communicate that, right? Because so there's different points where I check in with your being. Are you embarrassed to say certain things? And if you are, why are you being embarrassed to say certain things, right? Because it's not about being embarrassed. It's not about the fact that you are embarrassed about that thing. But it's the fact that you are embarrassed, and it's a certain situation that you have a memory of that is causing you to feel embarrassed because of a past experience. And so that is opening up again more light into the darkness, right? So we're like walking through these dark valleys, and I'm there holding space and supporting you. That's what these sessions do. Right? And so every time we open up the records, we are opening space of like, yo, you are motherfucking light. You came on this earth with a motherfucking purpose. Okay. You are an epic, abundant being. You are abundance. And if you forgot that, I'm here to support you to be like, like how could you forget that? And if you have forgotten it, it's okay. That's why we're doing this work, right? We all need assistance, and sometimes you can do this on our own. And I teach tools. I teach y'all this. I leave y'all with homework. So when a client says, I don't know how to answer this, I don't know how to answer this question that I'm asking, and there's a little part of me that I appreciate when clients say, I do not know how to answer this question, because what I'm allowing you to do is open your mind, open your perspective to a new reality. So I'm like, okay, if you don't know how to answer it, take some time, write this question out. I always ask my clients to have a book with them so you can take this question and sit on it, deal with it, work on it, build on it. Because as you're building on those tools, as you're building on those questions, I've just provided you tools within your consciousness that you are helping yourself. But as you have those questions, hey loves, as you're helping yourself with these questions that I've provided you as homework, you're also helping the people around you. You're also helping the reality around you. So you're not just shifting, you're shifting yourself, which is all intricately shifting the reality. You're like touching the reality, you're touching the waters of your reality, and it's sending a ripple effect everywhere. And so if you say, oh, I do not know how to answer this question, that's when my heart glows, because I've just implemented a new sense of reality, a new perspective. And so I'm like, you know what, write that out in your journal and go ahead and answer that. And in a 30-minute follow-up, we can come back to that, and you can show how that's impacted and will continue to impact your life. Alrighty. What else? So problems and judgment. Okay, so I think I've talked about a lot so far. We're just coming to the end of this. I'm just eating some kiwi over here. Okay, so first we talk about the problem, certain situation that you want to look into, okay? And then where's the space of judgment that's being held within our bodies, within our mind, within our DNA code as well. And through that, you're gonna learn a lot of shit. You're gonna learn a lot of stuff, okay? Things are gonna come up. That's why I only keep it an hour and a half. Like we can keep doing the records for like 2-3 hours, but it's not gonna support your growth because there's so much information coming that you know, we just keep it to certain chunks that we can bite off. And that is pretty much it. I think, hold on, someone don't know how to answer the question. I already said that, and see you all tonight. Okay, so I'm done. Thank you so much for joining me on Akashic Saturdays. This is fucking fun for me to do because a lot of people don't know what Akashic Healing is, and I'm here to hold space for y'all to realize that you are light. At all times, you are light. And especially those times when you are triggered, that's when we need to realize, that's when we need to come back to meditation. That's when we need to come back to philosophy. That's when we need to come back to who am I really? Because in those moments of being triggered and being affected is when we need to come back and being like, okay, yo, I'm abundance of light. So how can I approach the situation with knowing that I'm this eternal being that exists in the cosmos and this is just one reality of who I am? Woo! All right, so for everyone who is watching this video and has come to the end of this, I really, really appreciate you being present. Next week, we're going to talk about how ancestral patterns are addressed in Akashic Healing. Again, I want to do small chunks, so next week's going to be strictly on ancestral patterns and how Akashic Records are intertwined with that. Because if something has been taught from a lineage and we still continue to hold that, let's just say, surviving mechanism of we just have to get by in life. We just have to get by in life. Like that's like a thought process that's been passed down, or like we have to like hide what we do because like we might get killed, and like that, if that fear implemented in our DNA, that's some shit we need to talk about and undo, right? So that's gonna be for next week. I'm gonna be doing a free giveaway. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a post that I'm gonna be posting for the month of December. This is a new thing that I'm doing again. Whee! And it's going to be a free Akashic session as well. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. I love you. If you have any questions, holler. And again, so the Akashic Records sessions up until December 31st, I'm doing $100 sessions, Canadian, online and in person. And then starting January, I'm going to be doing the price is going to switch to $222 with 222 with an hour and a half session and a 30-minute follow-up call. Okay, now that's just the intro session, right? Because I don't want you to just take a session and like, okay, now I'm healed, because this is an ongoing fucking journey, right? So I would definitely encourage you to look into my hydration package, because it's going to be a month-to-month thing where you have classes where we're talking about stuff like inner child healing, and we're going to also be doing in-person classes. So if you're in the GTA, you have classes to that, but I'm also going to have movement classes online. And so with that, every month you get a 30-minute Akashic session, and then in my one-on-one program, you do a whole an hour and a half every month, and we work on that every week after that. So the 3 weeks out of the 4 weeks, we work on, okay, how can we implement more light into your life by looking through that shit, by looking through your spider webs, by going through the deep, dark tunnels and knowing that, yeah, I do want this person, I don't want this person, or maybe I do want this situation in my life. How do I undo it? How do I recreate more new beliefs that support my desires that I want? That's the key. Thank you so much. Peace. And stay tuned for my Instagram post on the free Akashic Healing for December. I love y'all.